Folks, this is a synagogue that was built 1,700 years ago by Jews who escaped from Jerusalem to the north.
Beneath the windswept hills of southern Judea, ancient stones whisper a story long forgotten. In a place where dust clings to crumbling walls and time itself seems frozen, something extraordinary has been unearthed. Something that could rewrite what we thought we knew about early Jewish-Christian relations. Imagine walking into an ancient synagogue, 2,000 years old. Faded mosaic tiles line the floor, their artistry almost erased by centuries of weathering. But then, something catches the eye. A name, an inscription, a word that shouldn't be there, at least not according to what historians have long believed. What if some ancient Jewish communities, long before the institutionalized split between Judaism and Christianity, were not just aware of Jesus, but honored him? What if, buried in ruins and ignored by mainstream narrative, the evidence was quietly waiting to be found? Stay with us as we uncover a jaw-dropping discovery from the heart of Israel's archaeological landscape, one that could illuminate a hidden chapter of history. You don't want to miss this. Before we dive deeper into this incredible story, be sure to subscribe to our channel and turn on notifications. We're exploring the ancient world, uncovering truth from ruins, and bringing history back to life. And you don't want to miss what's coming next. Let's begin by understanding the setting. Susya is located in the Judean foothills, just 8 miles from the ancient city of Hebron. The ruins here cover about 20 acres, or roughly 80,000 square meters. That's a massive footprint for a city that doesn't show up in ancient writings. Historians have tried to match the ruins of Susya to names in Jewish and Roman texts, but there's no mention of Susya in documents by prominent ancient historians like Josephus, Eusebius, or Jerome. Not once. It's as if this city was forgotten or deliberately erased. Theories abound. Some scholars believe Susya may have been known by a different name. Others suggest the community was isolated or shunned for reasons unknown. Still, none of these theories have been proven. What we do know is this: whoever lived in Susya built an extraordinary city with extensive underground infrastructure, a grand synagogue, and ritual purity facilities. As you walk through the ruins, you'll notice something immediately. Dozens of caves carved into the bedrock below homes and streets. These weren't just storage areas. Many were carefully designed with multiple rooms, living quarters, even workspaces. The caves provided natural insulation from the heat during the scorching Judean summers. But even more telling is the presence of mikvehs, ritual baths used for Jewish purification ceremonies. These stone pools, filled with rainwater, were used to transition from a state of impurity to purity before entering holy spaces like synagogues. The mikvehs at Susya are real, functional, and match the traditional Jewish design. Archaeologist Dr. Jonathan Adler, a respected authority on Jewish purity laws, has argued that these mikvehs could not have been used for anything else. Their structure makes them completely impractical for daily bathing or storage. This is clear evidence that the people who lived in Susya were practicing observant Jews. Then there's the synagogue itself, perhaps the most astonishing part of Susya. From a distance, it looks less like a traditional synagogue and more like a temple platform. Its elevated structure, built with massive Herodian-style stones, closely resembles the architectural style used in the Second Temple in Jerusalem. Inside, the synagogue is immense, larger than most synagogues of the time. Mosaic floors stretch from wall to wall. Intricately carved arches tower above, echoing the grandeur of sacred spaces in Jerusalem. If you didn't know better, you might think you were standing in a small cathedral. And it's here, in this monumental synagogue, that an inscription was found, one that could hold the key to an incredible historical puzzle. On the mosaic floor, partially worn by time but still legible, lies a short but deeply provocative inscription written in Aramaic, the common language spoken by Jews in late antiquity. It reads, Dakirin Latov, Menahama Yeshua Shahada, which translates to, Remembered for good, Advocate Yeshua Witness. Let's look closely at what these words might be saying. The phrase Dakirin Latov means remembered for good, but it's written in plural, which means more than one person is being honored here. Then we see the word Menahama, an Aramaic word meaning advocate or comforter. In the Syriac New Testament, this is the same word used for the Holy Spirit, the helper Jesus spoke about in John chapter 14. Next is the name Yeshua, the Hebrew name for Jesus. It was a common name back then, but when you place it next to advocate and what comes next, it starts to feel special. Finally, the word shahada means witness, and in some religious contexts, it can even mean a martyr, someone who gives their life for their faith. Then there's a partially destroyed word beginning with the letter shin, which archaeologists believe may point to a second individual, possibly Shimon, being honored in the same inscription. So, what are we looking at here? Could this inscription refer to Jesus of Nazareth as a martyr, advocate, and comforter? Or are we simply looking at a dedication to two men, one of whom happened to be named Yeshua? To answer that, let's look at similar inscriptions from other synagogues. In the Ein Gedi Synagogue and the Na'aran Synagogue, inscriptions often start with the phrase, remembered for good, and list donors or patrons who funded the building's construction or renovation. It was a way of honoring those who gave generously to the community, not necessarily a religious statement about their divine status. The name Yeshua was also common in the 1st through 5th centuries. We even see it in the Bible applied to others besides Jesus of Nazareth. See Acts chapter 13, verse 6, and Colossians chapter 4, verse 11. This complicates the case significantly. But Susya is different in other ways too. Archaeologists discovered rolling stones, circular stone doors, at the synagogue's entrance. These are extremely rare in Jewish structures, but are commonly found in Christian churches and monasteries of the Byzantine period. And then there are the other inscriptions, written in Hebrew, but with terminology that isn't found in other Jewish synagogues of the time. Words like Kedushat, Hasofer, and Mechubad, words that are far more common in Christian contexts, particularly in Byzantine churches. Could it be that this was once a Messianic Jewish congregation, Jews who believed that Jesus was the Messiah, but still maintained Jewish customs and laws? The possibility is both thrilling and divisive. So, was Jesus worshipped here? Here's where things get complicated. On one hand, the inscription is likely a standard dedication for two individuals, one of whom was named Yeshua. The use of common phrasing and titles fits the pattern found in other synagogues from the same period. On the other hand, the titles advocate, comforter, and witness, all packed around the name Yeshua, are incredibly significant in Christian theology. The architectural elements and unique vocabulary only deepen the mystery. We may never know for certain if this inscription refers to Jesus of Nazareth, but what we can say is this: Susya doesn't fit the mold. It challenges our categories. It hints at a community unlike any other, living at the crossroads of faith, politics, and transformation. Thanks for joining us on this journey. If you've enjoyed exploring the mysteries of Susya, make sure to like, comment, and share your thoughts below. What do you think? Was this the Jesus of Nazareth? Or simply another Yeshua remembered for his good deeds? Subscribe for more videos like this. And as always, God bless you real good. The best is yet to come.